Welcome back to another HiFi-Tom video. It was about a year ago that I've uploaded my first video to this YouTube channel, and it was about the Holo Audio Red, a streaming transport. Today's video, just about a year later, is again about a streaming transport. This time not from China, but from Korea, and it's about the HiFi Rose RS130. With a list price of roughly 4,799 euros, it's about 4 times the price of the Holo Audio Red, including the Synergistic Research Purple Fuse. So what do you get for the extra cost? Clearly, you get a full-sized hi-fi component with about 43 centimeters of width. On the top, there are 4 buttons to operate the device. A favorites button, a mute button, a play-pause button, and an on-off button. At the front, there's a touchscreen with a resolution of 1920 x 382 pixels. On the back, you find all the connections. So first and foremost, your power supply, including a separate grounding connector. You have digital outputs, namely coaxial, AES EBU, optical, HDMI, I2S via HDMI, and a dedicated audio USB port. Additionally, there are 2 general-purpose USB ports that can be used to connect either USB sticks or external drives, as long as they don't consume more than the 1 ampere of power that the HiFi Rose can deliver. These ports can also be used to connect the supplied Wi-Fi dongle to integrate the RS130 into your local network via Wi-Fi if you choose to do so. The device also supports to connect an external master clock with 50 or 70 ohm connections. A pretty unique feature, and to my knowledge an exclusive one, is the ability to establish an optical USB connection. Unfortunately, I didn't have the chance to test this feature. For connecting to the outside world, I recommend using the Ethernet port, and I chose to do so. Interestingly, there's no built-in RJ45 port, but rather an SFP slot, and the RS130 comes with an SFP module that has the RJ45 port included. The clever part is that you can also use different SFP modules to, for example, connect to your network via a fiber optics cable if you wish to do so. Unlike the Holo Audio Red, which is a very minimalist streamer with no control options, the RS130 is truly fully equipped. You get a touchscreen, you get the remote control, and an app-based operation is all available to you. Let's start with the touchscreen. In an area of 4K TVs and iPads, the roughly 125 pixels per inch is not revolutionary, but I think it's a well-suited choice to balance resolution and power consumption. The touchscreen allows me to read texts very clearly from my listening position, which is roughly 4 meters away. The album title is the only element that is maybe a tad too small to be comfortably able to read it, but the rest is really easy to read. However, if you wanna browse your music on Qobuz via the supplied remote control on the touchscreen, the 4 meters are clearly too far away, but you could easily go to the device and use the supplied Qobuz app to play some music. Honestly, not the feature that I would use on a daily basis, also due to the distance from the device, but it's clearly a well-working feature, and I love that it's integrated here. The app itself offers a wide range of features, but still falls short in terms of user experience. That said, as a Roon user, I have very high expectations. But what I do appreciate is the app allows extensive control over the device settings, and it's working really well. The touchscreen also works really smooth. So if you look, If I press the button here to activate the view meters, for example, this works instantly. So there's no input lag or anything of that nature, and it's really a pleasure to use. If we were to remove the top plate and look inside, the RS130 features a linear power supply housed in the front section near the touchscreen. I think that is a very smart choice because it allows it to be completely separated from the signal processing section, which is housed in a separate compartment and therefore shielded from any noise that may be inflicted by the power supply. So it can shield it very well from interference. One highlight to mention certainly is the clock. It's a temperature-controlled, oven-controlled crystal oscillator that delivers an exceptionally clean timing signal and avoids, if not most of the jitter. The question now is, how does it sound? What I can say in short, it sounds fantastic. The RS130 delivers outstanding transients, creating an impressive spatial imaging. Vocals sound remarkably natural, and the level of detail retrieval is truly outstanding. This is further enhanced by, to me, the most standout characteristics, which is the incredibly black background. But also the bass has a great punch and tightness, making it really a joy to listen to. Here are my impressions. And I have to mention Sophie Selmani's album, and I mean the entire album, Time to Kill, at first, because the RS130 provided a much quieter, blacker background, as we often say. And this resulted in a more organized, polished presentation compared to the Holo Audio Red. And this was really remarkable. But also listening to Bria Skånberg's Little Too Lonely, the trumpet on the Red sounded slightly, ever so slightly muffled, as if it would be played with a very light mute. The RS130, on the other hand, delivered more clarity and more openness. Talking about bass, I listened to Camila Cabello's Crown. The bass hits harder, sharper and tighter. Listen around the 1 minute 20 mark for yourself. You can almost feel those punches jumping at you, and this is really fun and enjoyable. And also something that I added late into this video is Matafix's Big City Life. I originally wanted to listen to the version by Gentleman and Marlon Rudet, but it wasn't available on Cobus, so I played the original by Matafix. The RS130 delivered more authoritative bass. I was really skeptical about that, and right before filming the video, I rechecked it. And it's true, the RS130 simply sounds fuller. But now let's come to vocals. And I chose a remarkable Korean singer, Woo Kim Ro. A Million Roses is the track I want to talk about, and maybe you can see it here even on the display. And again, the quieter background and the clarity really made the RS130 stand out. I don't understand a single word of what this man is singing, but the emotions he delivers is truly stunning. Something the RS130 was able to capture beautifully. And the same is true also for Rachel Yamagata's Something in the Rain. The RS130 presented a better defined and more detailed voice. This track is packed with emotion, and the RS130 conveys it effortlessly. The saxophone also sounded more precise and less nasal maybe. Overall, the Red felt slightly less refined and less detailed in comparison. Now let's talk about 3 points that I want to criticize. First, those fake diamond buttons on the top are a bit over the top for me. They're not a deal breaker, but they are not my cup of tea. Second, for nearly 5,000 euros, a more premium remote control should be included. It's not bad at all. The weight and the feel is solid, but it's just a little bit too much plastic. And third, the app definitely deserves improvement. It's perfectly usable, make no mistake about that, but it's nowhere near the comfort level of competitors, and I have to mention Rune here. The final verdict? I can definitely say that the HiFi Rose RS130 delivers what it claims if you carefully read on the back side, because there it states ultimate network transport. And that's probably what it is. You may now ask the question, is it worth 4 times the price of the Holo Audio Red? It's not miles better, but it's really setting itself apart. And I mean, we are here definitely in the area of diminishing returns, where incremental improvements come at a very high cost. However, the RS130 offers a complete package with extensive controls and this absolutely remarkable sound quality, which clearly sets it apart and makes it a compelling choice in my view. So if you're out there in the market for a streaming transport, definitely include the HiFi Rose into your selection. You will not be disappointed. It's really amazing. Thank you so much for listening and watching. I would be very happy if you gave me a thumbs up. Maybe you want to comment if you own the RS130 or are out there looking for a streaming transport. And if you don't want to miss any of my future videos, hit the subscribe button. It's completely for free and it helps me and the channel to grow. Thank you so much for listening and see you next time. Bye-bye.